welcome to the Festival of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, and Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming today. I really appreciate having you guys here. I am Christina Kitchen. I am the author of Cotton Candy Clouds. So I really appreciate that you took the time today to come and visit my booth. I know you have a lot on your plate. It is a very busy time of the year and in our lives, and I really appreciate that you're spending this 30 minutes with me. So let me tell you a little bit about my book. Feel free to ask any questions you have, and I'll try to do my best to answer them. This book is based off of stories I told my daughter Brianna when she was in the hardest battle of her life, the last 10 days of her life, battling a rare form of leukemia called ETP-ALL, early T cell precursor acute lymphoblastic leukemia. There was no targeted protocol, and she kept getting sicker and sicker. The last 10 days of her life, she was in the CICU. We were no longer able to treat her cancer. She was put on ECMO, dialysis, full ventilator, 100% oxygen. And she was also put on 17 pumps, just primarily for pain management. She was very, very sick, and she was somewhat there with us, and we were trying to do things to, bring her back. And there were two things: that her heart rate would go up and her blood pressure would go up, which indicated she was listening and she liked it. Well, I hope she liked it. The first one out of all the songs we played was Katy Perry's Fireworks. So Katy Perry, if you are listening, thank you for everything you gave my baby girl. That was her song throughout her entire journey. So thank you. The second thing was the story that I told Brianna. Every time I told her, her heart rate would go up, her blood pressure would go up, and I knew she was listening. So as the story goes, outside her room, there was a beautiful window that showed outside of her room at the CICU. And outside her room was this beautiful church, and at night during sunset, the sun would shine in just a way that it made it look golden, and it just glowed. It was so beautiful. And I told her that that church was actually a castle. So outside of her room was this beautiful, majestic castle. And all around that castle were these amazing, beautiful, fluffy cotton candy clouds. There were pinks and purples and blues and yellows and greens and any color you can think. It was just this magical, magical area. And then through those cotton candy clouds would be unicorns just frolicking in the air, magical and happy and they would gobble up those cotton candy clouds. And then they would swoop down and they would hang out with their other magical unicorn buddies eating cotton candy. Inside the castle was family. It was love. It was warmth. It was safe. And there was hope. So, the idea of the story is to give a child who goes into the hospital or who is very sick or very scared. Anxiety is a good way to look at this book as well. To find that courage and that courage and that acceptance that you can dig deep and find your imagination again. And when you find that imagination, your strength is going to be there. Thank you, Fairgover 2016, making me sad and happy at the same time. Thank you for sharing your story. You're very, very welcome. So Brianna was the type of kiddo that loved everything. She absolutely loved everything. She would see a tree, and look up and look at the beautiful leaves on it. She got bullied a lot because she was autistic, as are my two other kiddos. And so she did not socially work so well when it came to playing. Instead of playing what the other kids wanted to play, she would frolic around like a horse or like a dog. So one day I heard that she had a really rough time at recess. Some kiddos were calling her weird, and it was making her feel really sad. And so she just kept doing what she did good, and she frolicked like a horse. So when I picked her up, I asked her what happened, and she said, Mom, I don't know. I don't understand. And she listed all these things. She said, those kids are this, 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 and this. Now, every single thing she listed was a good characteristic. She did not see the bad in the people that were being mean. So that is the type of kiddo that Brianna was. She passed away 3 months after her ninth birthday. She was diagnosed 3 weeks after her ninth birthday, August 3rd, 2016, and passed away October 24th, 2016. So I knew I had to write this book. I just could not come up with the words. I was really, really struggling. The first thing I did, though, was I created a foundation called Brianna's Love. And in honor of Brianna and all these other kiddos battling childhood cancer, what we do is we give back to them by helping them. We have 3 major programs that we started. We are official 501c3, 100% donation based. And so we work with our Give Kids a Snuggle program, which started because Brianna loved stuffed animals so much. And so she had a whole collection in the hospital around her. And though she did not have the capacity to name them anymore, she knew where each and every one of them was. And if one of the nurses overnight even moved it a little smidge to access her, she'd wake up the next morning and say, she knew. So our Give Kids Snuggle campaign gives stuffed animals and blankets out to the families or the kiddos battling cancer, as well as the siblings. It does not matter if there's 10 siblings, we will send it out to them. We have our sibling love program, which is where we offer the siblings of a fighter a day of respite. If they want to go bowling with friends, we'll pay for that. If they want to go to the movies and lunch, we'll pay for that. Because of COVID, we've also done items of choice. We were able to purchase braids for one of the kiddos, and another one wanted a virtual reality headset. And we really try to make sure that the siblings feel very loved. And then we have our home to care program where we facilitate travel, meals, and lodging for families that have to travel far away from home to get that critical life-saving treatment for their kiddos. And the proceeds of this book, all of the proceeds from this book will go back to Brianna's Love to continue helping people. Fairgoer 2083, it must have been hard, but I am proud of how strong you are. Thank you. I appreciate that. It was hard, very hard, and it's still hard, but I really, really, really appreciate that. So 100% of the proceeds will go back to the foundation so that we can continue helping all these kiddos. If you would like to donate a book to a kiddo fighting cancer, you can purchase one of these, and it helps us twofold. The royalties from the book go back to the foundation so that we can support more children and their families. But the book itself will be donated by us directly to a fighter battling cancer. So you can go onto our website, and there is our mailing address in there, and you can just send it right there from Amazon or any site that you want. and it'll go directly to us, and we'll give it to a kiddo. So this is just a really important book. Now, this book also, while the character, my daughter, while the character is battling cancer, this is a very uplifting book. It's not about death. It is not, it does not mention anything like that. It's very much like, you got this. Just dig deep and find that imagination and find those cotton candy clouds, and you will get through this. Things are going to change for you, but just remember, you, be awesome. And that's what I told my daughter throughout her life and throughout treatment. And I still tell them to my other two kiddos. We have them actually on little tags for all of our stuffed animals and blankets that we give out, so that the kiddos who get it get just a token of encouragement. This can also be applied to other situations. Like, my son has severe anxiety. This little guy right here is her puppy. So this little guy you're going to see sneaking around the story, and it's going to represent courage. So this she got when from her grandparents when she was born. We bought a second one thinking, you know what, if we lose it, we've heard story because she was my firstborn, we're going to have a backup. She never took to it, but she took to this one. So it was Stinky Puppy. Didn't matter how much I washed it, it stunk. And it helped her through treatment and through life. So let's say you have a kiddo with severe anxiety. Maybe they don't have a stinky puppy, but they have a sword, or maybe they have a dinosaur or a Barbie doll or something that gives them courage. That can be their courage throughout the book, and dig deep and find it. Do I have plans to write more books for children? Thank you. I actually hope to. This is my first one. Um, I would like to write a second one from the siblings' perspective, because siblings are often forgotten, and I want to give my other two kiddos a voice. So I would really like to put that into a children's book, because I know that would really, there's a lot of kiddos out there that could benefit. And as I mentioned, all three of my kiddos are autistic, and I call that their superpower. So I would like to write a story about their superpowers as autistic kiddos. It's not a disability. It's not a crutch. It's a superpower. So I'm hoping to do that hopefully soon. Um, I love the colors of the book. Very soothing. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really wanted to go with cotton candy colors because they're so positive and they're just so happy, right? So I was trying to make them bright, not overpowering, and just happy. So, on that note, I'd like to read a little of the book to you, maybe the whole book if we have time. But if you have questions, just shoot them out here, and my stage manager will put them back up here for me to read. And I will read while I'm answering questions, because I want to share this book with you. It is so good. Now, on the very, very first page is a very special, special page. It's called "This Book Belongs to Brianna, and Now It Belongs to You." Now, this is actually Brianna's handwriting. Uh, Honey, I'm doing this live. Okay, grab it and then leave. Thank you. Single mama here. Um, so after she passed, she was a bookworm, just like I am. And after she passed, I found her books that had all her names in it, because she used to like to say, "These are mine," and she would write in the books. And that, I'm so grateful she did that. But now I want to gift her love to you. So now it belongs to you. So that is a very, very special part of this book. And it's there for everybody to feel her love. Okay. Now, my illustrator is from my publisher, Fulton Books, and they got it spot on. This is how, and when I look at pictures, this is how my kiddos, it's okay, honey, just go ahead and be quiet. This is how my kiddos always were. They were always in this position, and they were always kind of in a circle playing together. They were like three peas in a pod. My name is Brianna, and I am 9 years old. My favorite thing in life is to play with my sister and brother. They are so special to me. They are like gold. Liam, can you take your toys out to the other room, please? Thank you. I love the simple things in life, like trees and animals, clouds, and of course, sweet and sticky cotton candy. Now, you're also going to notice throughout the book the coloring changes in her, her eye twinkles change in her hair is going to change, her complexion is going to change. But then you're also going to see when she finds her imagination, that's going to change too. So these are very little subtle hints in there about how strong your imagination is and what it can get you through. But why do I like cotton candy? Let me see if I can do it so you can see it. Okay, why do I like cotton candy so much, you may wonder? Well, that's because cotton candy is like a fluffy hug, surrounded by sweetness that sticks to everything. Cotton candy is like the love that your family shows you when you get lonely. Cotton candy sticks to your fingers and your face so that when you are done, you still have more to lick off and taste. Honey, can you take your toys out, please? No, take your toys out of the other room. Okay, let's see. It's like family that is always there, always by your side, always near. And no, it's puppies right there. Fairgoer 1928. Oh, wow, that's actually a great idea. I'm sure the siblings were also very much affected, and having a book and their perspective can be very enlightening. I think it is. I think siblings often are the forgotten ones in this entire picture because the parents are working so hard between their jobs and keeping their other child alive, dealing with every single detail that comes through every single day and their other children, and at no fault to themselves. There's only so much you can do, and they love all their kids equally. But oftentimes that's what we have heard from a lot of families is this program is so important. So I really think that having my kiddos' perspective will help them heal as much as we can, but also give the siblings something. And it might be a really good addition to our sibling love program. But that's very important to me that we include them because cancer doesn't end when the child dies. It absolutely does not. It does for them, and their suffering has ended, but the suffering for the rest of the family will remain the rest of their lives. So we need to make sure that we give credit to the siblings that are still battling that, missing their best friend, right? So yeah, so thank you so much for that. Wow. One day things changed. Let's do this. One day things changed. My body, let's see, there we go. My body started to hurt and I felt crummy. I felt so crummy that I couldn't put anything in my tummy. I started to feel tired. I felt so tired every day. I just wanted to crawl in bed and sleep it away. I kept feeling crummy, and with nothing in my tummy, I couldn't even play during the day. I go to the hospital where the lights are so bright. I sleep more than usual at night. I hear my mommy's voice as I sleep. I wonder if it's a dream, but I hear my mommy talking to me. She's telling me all about my cotton candy filled days with my cotton candy ways. When I hurt and I feel sick, I know I am safe, as my mommy sits next to me and never goes away. It is then that I can go to sleep and dream about my cotton candy days filled with those cotton candy ways. Clouds, fluffy and light, floating above in the cotton candy like lights. Pink and purple and blue delights. All are my cotton candy clouds that I dream about at night. Mm. Cotton candy clouds make me feel so free and so light and help me get through the night. Unicorns flying high and playing together remind me of the times that I get to play with my sister and brother. Unicorns flying up and down, unicorns flying all around. Unicorns flying through those cotton candy cloud blues, flying so high day and night, munching on all of the fluffy cotton candy clouds in sight. Fairgoer 2060, you are such a sweet mom. Oh, thank you. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know if my kids agree with it, but I appreciate it. This is me eating lots of chocolate to get through to that. As I sleep, I dream some more as my mommy sits next to me by the door. A majestic castle peeking through the cotton candy clouds. Heart is full, warm sun on my face. Love is filling the entire place. Cancer is scary. Sorry, guys. I'm not good at this positioning here. Cancer is scary, but my castle is there. Cozy, warm, love filling the air. Treatment is hard. Body still hurts. Nights are long. Throwing up is the worst. But when I close my eyes, night or day, those cotton candy clouds are here to stay. I close my eyes and I see happy unicorns resting with me, tails tucked, eyes closed, snuggling next to me. How lucky can I be? Across the room is my castle, standing tall and strong and always here to stay every day. I know I am never alone. My family is always here until together we get to go home. Being brave is so hard, but I can hear those unicorns, strong and brave, swooping through the cotton candy clouds every day, bringing hope and love and showing me that I too can fly high. All I have to do is close my eyes. When treatment is too hard to bear, I hear her voice and I know mommy is there. With my heart full, I dream again of my cotton candy clouds, fluffy, pink, blue, and bright, with no fear in sight. I ride my unicorn through the sky all throughout the night. Swooping down, I peek at the sky where I see a group of unicorns flying high, showing me how being brave is possible even at night. Sweet cotton candy clouds fill my mouth. Happiness, love, and hope is all around. I wake up from my dream. I get through another cream, another shot, and another day. I am strong. I am brave. I can do this with my cotton candy cloud days. The end. That's my story. I hope you guys like it. Anybody have any questions? I would happily answer that. But this is the story of my daughter. If you're just tuning in, it's a story of my daughter who passed away from leukemia at 9 years old. And this is a story I told her from when she was the sickest, the last 10 days of her life, based off of a church that was outside the CICU we could see from our window. And I was telling her that there was a big castle and cotton candy clouds all around it. I do believe that this really could help kids, even if they're not battling cancer. Let's say you're reading this story to your kiddo and they don't have cancer, but they have another illness. You could just change the word cancer to whatever it is. You could change the word from cancer to severe anxiety. It could be an eating disorder. It could be anything that they need support in. This is just, I think, a really encouraging, uplifting, and inspiring book that I really hope helps kiddos get through these tough treatments. If you guys have any other questions, I would love to answer it. I will be here 5 to 5:30 tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, when I believe this festival ends on Sunday. So I will be here from all of these days. This book can be purchased at Target.com, Walmart.com, BarnesandNoble.com, 7 Barnes& and Noble stores in the DMV, specifically Maryland, politicandprose.com in DC. Can also be found at booksamillion.com. Ebooks, and it is in Kindle. It's in soft copy and paperback. This is the paperback, and then also the hard copy, which is absolutely amazing. There is apparently shortage in the supply chain is now hitting the distribution arena. Apparently, it's now hitting my publisher's teams. So if this is something that you would like to purchase for the holidays, I would recommend doing it soon, just so that it gets there in time. Typically, it's a 2 to 4 day turnaround after you purchase it, but it's taking like a week or two now. So just be mindful of that. And I would love, love, love for you to share this book. And please share my foundation, Brianna's Love. My website's right there on the bottom, www.briannaslove.org. Everything we do is to help other kiddos get through a really, really tough battle. Um, I have 30 minutes, 30 minutes. You know that thing where, the mom goes to the bathroom and shuts the door, and the kids put their hands under the door? 30 minutes. That's it. Both kids are in here now. So if you have any questions, I would love to ask. Fairgoer 2083, any tips on how to help kids with anxiety? That's a very hard one. My son has severe anxiety and my daughter has anxiety, but my son's anxiety is severe enough that getting out of the house can be very, very hard. I hold on one second, please. Please go out of the room when I finish, okay? Thank you. Um, I would say listening to them is really important. Making sure they know that you hear what they're saying and you know what their triggers are. For my son, we do a lot of things. He's also autistic, so there's other um, oral things that he needs, like chewing, and he's an eloper, and there's a lot of sensory processing disorder issues. But one of the things that we do is when he gets anxious, he likes to be in tight areas. So we create kind of like a tight, cozy area. It used to be in between the wall and the couch, and I made it like small so his body can fit in small. I wouldn't be able to fit in small, and he loved that. And that was his cozy place. It was his safe place. I would recommend just if the kiddo feels better with weights. I know for him, sometimes a weighted vest helps, or weighted blankets. And you don't necessarily have to go buy a weighted blanket. You could just take a heavy blanket and fold it in half and lay it on top of him. When he's very anxious and he's laying there, I tend to put weight on my hands, meaning I push down a little bit just to keep that pressure. It seems to help him. My kiddo has such severe anxiety, though, that I have to help him. We have a team helping my kiddos. And one of them is to help with medication, to help with his anxiety so that he can function. It is making a big difference between therapies. He's an ABA as well, and medication, and just hearing him. When he says he's stressed and he's scared, I recognize he's having a panic attack. And now we're in the middle of the store and he's having a panic attack. What is better? Finishing my shopping that I can do later, or removing him from a situation where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of lights, there's a lot of sound, and he feels like a tiny, tiny little fish in a huge ocean of sharks? The answer is to leave. And it is the hardest thing that you're going to do, because now it's another thing on your list that you have to come back and do. But in the long scheme of things, he feels safe. He feels like he's heard. And then we can get through that without it becoming a major meltdown. It's not easy. But what I will say to a mom or a dad going through this, and I say this to the families that I work with through our foundation, through my experience, right? Get a second cup of coffee. The first cup of coffee is habitual. Typically, we get up in the morning, we have a routine, we get coffee, tea, some folks get sodas, orange juice, whatever it is. And you drink it, you get on your day, it's fine. However, the second cup of coffee is not. The second cup of coffee is specifically for you to feel, for you to have time to focus on yourself. It doesn't matter if you're going to drink it. It doesn't matter if you even got coffee. You could have put something in a cup like water, hot chocolate, milk. It does not matter. You could have gotten yourself a second slice of pie. It's that moment that you spent doing that. You got up from wherever you went over to the sink or the kitchen. You got a cup. You focused on you, saying, this is what I would want right now. You filled the cup. Whether you drink it or not does not matter. It's those 2 minutes that you spent on yourself. And whether you have a child that is sick with cancer, whether you lost a child, whether you have a child with anxiety or autism or sensory processing disorder or elopes, whether you have a child on feeding tubes, I'm literally listing all of my all of my children, whether you have a children with something hard, right? Get yourself a second cup of coffee, because at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself, right? They say put the oxygen mask on you first. the hardest thing as a parent is to say yes. I mean, I'm saying this, but I don't always do it. You know, I'm a bereaved mom, and sometimes it's very, very hard. But you know, we just have to keep moving forward. Let's see. Message from Fair Goer 1928. That's really tough. Is he doing better now? He is. We've gotten a good team surrounding him, a good team of medical crew and therapists, and you know, I think he's in a better place. But it's a day by day thing, and we understand as a family that you know there are concessions that have to be made, and if it's a tough day, it's a tough day. You get through it. Maybe I can eat a lot of chocolate after he's in bed. But you get through it. You know, at the end of the day, you know, whatever is hard for the kiddos, if you remember that it's harder for them than it is you, when they're having that meltdown, when they're having that temper tantrum, when they're having a panic attack, it's harder on them than it is on you. So it's a really hard thing to remember, but that really helps me as well when he's having a tough time, so I can better appreciate how I can help him. These are great questions, though. As a mother, how do you deal with your own stress? Um, chocolate. Chocolate is the answer to everything. I hide chocolate in the freezer. One of these days I'm gonna get a container that says liver on it, and I'm gonna put it in there in the fridge and nobody will touch it. But honestly, for me, I am so busy between Brianna's Love and I am a translator by trade, and so I work late into the night. And I'm a single mom, so and I homeschool the kids, so I should probably eat more chocolate. I don't have a very good answer to that. But I think I have to heed my own advice too and have that second cup of coffee. You know, and I learned that from when Brianna was very, very sick. I would get my cup of coffee in the morning and I wouldn't drink it. And at 5 o'clock, that cup of coffee would be sitting there and I would drink some of it. And I'm like, well, it's like iced coffee now. You have to get that second cup of coffee. And then I'm not meaning drinking your iced coffee that now was your first cup that initially was hot. I mean, actually go and get a second cup of coffee. So if any, does anybody else have any more questions? Because I think my time is coming to an end. And I would love for you guys to purchase this book. Remember, every single purchase you make, I do not take any of the proceeds for myself. I am donating 100% of those proceeds right back to the foundation Brianna's Love that I started. It is a 501c3 registered with the IRS. And we really, really work strongly with the children. We've helped over 2,100 kids since Brianna has passed in 2016. And we're going to continue that. We're going to keep helping more. You can purchase my book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, select Barnes & Noble stores, politicsandprose.com, target.com, walmart.com, booksamillion.com, and it's in ebooks, it's in Kindle. It is a really, really awesome book, and there's lots of colors. So please, please, please feel free to buy my book. Fairgoer 2060, you have such a good heart to do that. Thank you. You know, one of the things about Brianna was that she just was so loving and she really wanted to help people. And I was like that even as a kid. My mom always told me, you know, you can't save the world, you know, and she's an amazing person and one of my biggest inspirations and my best friend. But I remember in high school telling her, I may not be able to save the world, but I can help one person. And then that person can help one person. And then that person can help one person. So if we can all just come together and give each other a hug, eat chocolate. Yeah. All right, guys. So I think my time is up. I really appreciate your time and that you came here with me tonight. I really hope that you follow me. You can, if you have questions, feel free to send me an email at info@briannaslove.org or Christina@briannaslove.org. And I will get back to you. Just let me know that you saw me here, and that would be really, really awesome. And don't forget to buy my book. Buy the book. Please buy the book. Let's help other kids. And thank you for being interested. And thank you for being you. I love you guys so much. Stay safe. And I will see you right back here tomorrow at 5 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.